What's going on, everyone? This is Zen from Zen World, and I hope you're having a great day. So today we are doing our reaction and review to Maestro, uh, number one. This is a variant edition that I picked up from George Perez. Now, I do know a little bit about the story, but I don't know too much about Maestro, and this is why this is a great introduction to the character for me in particular. So let's get started. So we're introduced to the Hulk, right? That's who we know him as. I'm gonna show you a couple of panels so that you all could see. And basically, he's just coming from an adventure with the Avengers, beating down a Sentinel, right? And he kisses Betty Ross. And apparently they're in a relationship, so everything seems to be pretty good. Then they go along, they're having a good time, and then he goes home and then he sees his two sons. Yes, the Hulk's two sons. And they're there, they're chillaxing, they're relaxing, they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing. The kids are running around the table. Both of their names are Thaddeus and Rick, right? Nice names, right? And then basically they tell the boys to do something, right? And this part is where it gets kind of weird. Uh, you know, I'm gonna just kind of read what's here. We don't have to do what you say. That's what one of the kids say. I'm not too sure if that's Thaddeus or if that's Rick, right? Uh, And then Betty says, "Oh, why not?" And then he says, "Because you're already dead." So then the Hulk is like, "What? First of all, don't talk back to your mom like that. Number two, what are you even saying? What are you saying about this in particular right now?" So then we we then come across him being very confused, just as much as we're being confused. And then he goes out and then he sees Captain America, and Captain America is saying to him that something must be coming up. Something must be going down, right? Um, he's basically saying that this must be Mysterio doing something to kind of warp reality, not warp reality, but playing some kind of trickery in this case. And he's like, I don't really understand. Like, what are you talking about? How did Mysterio get to the level of kind of like Doctor Strange in terms of illusions and things of that nature? This is way too real. So then we get a scene where then his wife, Betty, is starting to just say some weird things, right? She's starting to use code, zeros and ones, like glitching. And we're like, what is going on? Okay, they're already robots. Maybe it is Mysterio. That's my thought. I thought it was probably Mysterio who's doing all these things um, to the Hulk, right? But the question is why? And why I believed it initially is because we seen this in Old Man Logan, right? Old Man Logan, Mysterio is the one who tricked him into killing a lot of the superheroes, right? In particular, the X-Men. So he's not really believing this. The Hulk is not believing this, and then the Avengers are talking to him, and then the Black Widow said something that I was a little bit thrown off by because she used a quote from the actual movies, and then she said the sun's getting real low, and that's how I knew that things were very off, right? Because they're using kind of formalities and just wording from the actual the movies. So they're trying to stop the Hulk from moving, and then he's like, "Get off of me! Just get out of my way! Get off of me!" So they're all trying to stop him, and that's making him want to fight back, right? Fight back even more, just like anyone else would, right? If someone trying to hold you back, you're trying to like break away, right? Anyone would break away. So he's smacking them back, pushing them away, punching them away, and then the Vision comes and tries to, say some words to him, and then he places his hand in his head, right? I'll show you this panel right here so you could see, and he kind of phases through the head, right? And you know, it by this point I'm like, okay, someone's trying to trick the Hulk. The Avengers are trying to like calm him down, and then we get this next scene, which is the thumbnail, right? We see the Hulk saying head. Apparently, this kind of feels like Inception. So he was already being fooled, and he was being fooled by the fool. Well, not the fool of the fool, but he was being fooled. That's all I mean. So he's kind of locked up. So then he gets out of this. He gets out of what seems to be just. his mind was linked up to something, his body was linked up to something, and then he looks around and then he hears someone say, Dr. Banner, right? Just stay calm. And then he looks around and then he sees this lady who seems to have some kind of suit, and then he sees his son, Rick. Well, what he thinks was Rick, right? And he's like, "That's my son. Like, how is this possible?" So then he automatically thinks that someone is doing something to his family. Why? Because in his head, he had this whole, basically what seemed like a lifetime with Rick and Thaddeus and Betty. But this is Rick. So then he goes over to Rick and he tries to pick up Rick and he holds him, right? He's trying to protect him. He's like, like, I'm gonna get you out of here. But Rick is like, or this kid is like, he's like, get off of me, like, let me go. I'm not your son, right? And he's like, that's my mom. And then he's like, your mom? So then everything is going a little bit kind of wild because the Hulk does not know what to think. He's already apparently been linked up to something that made him live a lifetime, almost a lifetime. We're assuming a lifetime because he had a son, Rick, and he had Thaddeus, and he had Betty Ross. Everything was going perfect. And then he comes out of that to basically see the Avengers, who are telling him he's being tricked by Mysterio, and then for him to then realize he's being tricked again, right? So it's kind of like Inception in the sense of he's going through layers of just false memories. And at this point, AIM pops in. AIM. Is it AIM? I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's AIM. So they say freeze Dr. Banner, and he's like, basically the Hulk is like, oh, I understand what's going on. This is one big trick, X, Y, and Z. So he basically goes to take them down, and they have some kind of futuristic blast. Normally those kind of blasts would not stop the Hulk, but in this case they did stop the Hulk. And it pushed him back. So he gets to the point when he's like super mad, right? Just like anyone else. He's super mad and he's like, what the hell is going on? And they use some kind of supersonic rays on him. So he breaks through. He breaks through. He breaks through one of the doors and pushes them back. And then he sees Abomination, and I forgot this other girl's name, Vapor, right? He sees them, which are just basically UFOs. And if you're not too familiar with that, they're basically, think about them as that team, like Abomination, as just basically gamma radiated enemies, right? So it gets it, they're Hulk is questioning like what is going on, and I'm questioning what the hell is going on. So then AIM pushes them back with the blast, and then there's another blast that comes from the unknown. The unknown is Modoc, my boy Modoc. So now we could tell that this is in the future. And how can we tell? Because Modoc looks old. This is old man Modoc, right? So automatically he goes over to Modoc and he tries to just incapacitate him, the Hulk. So then Modoc is at this point. Then it starts to get a little bit real. The story gets kind of real because Modoc is like, stop, just stop. I'm not here to fight you. I need you, right? And not so much that I need you, I just need to talk for a second. And Modoc is basically telling the Hulk that, um, yeah, basically, there's a lot of things that went on in terms of like the world, and basically the powers that be destroyed the Earth. Now, when I say destroyed the Earth, I don't mean like literally destroyed it, but basically, um, bombs went off, right? Higher powers, no super powered beings, right? Just people who have power to then tell other people or to press a button, right? Missiles, nuclear warheads, and things of that nature that we're led to believe. And then the Hulk is like who, originally he's like, who did this? Hydra? And Modok is like, no, it's not. Yeah, it's none of those people. It's just them. They talking about people, right? And then we get this really sad look from Modoc, right? And which this part is a little bit confusing, not confusing, but it's like, wow, like like everything went to pot. So, he basically says World War III, right? And then we get the scene where we just see nothing but obliteration. And, there's disease, there's chaos, there's a whole bunch of other things, right? And going on. There's a whole brand new world order that we're not getting too much information for. But basically, he thinks he's being tricked, and but the Hulk is like, "Why do you need me?" And MODOK is like, "For survival," right? And he smacks him away. He smacks him away, and then the Hulk goes outside. He goes outside, and literally what he sees is everything that MODOK was basically talking about. The whole entire, well, at least the city that they're in is totally messed up. Like nothing looks good. So MODOK then follows him, goes outside, and he basically, this is in Hollywood, so we know where we are now. And then the Hulk is like, "Is everywhere like this?" And then the MODOK is like, "Yeah, more of the same. Pretty much everything is like this, right?" And he's like, MODOK is like, "We need you." He's like, "We need you." He said, "Come with me, Dr. Banner." He says, "You can have friends. I don't." And then the Hulk says, "I don't need them," right? He said, "Friends die, and stop calling me Dr. Banner. That's not me anymore." He said, "So you're the Hulk full time now, are you?" And then he said, "For now," right? And then he just really does his Hulk jump all the way over, right? And then it says, "To be continued." That's it. Then we get that conclusion. Nothing is left until it shows next. This is what happens next. So this is the origins of MODOK. I mean of MODOK, of Maestro. Now again, I don't know anything about Maestro, but what can I say about this book in particular? This book was a really good introduction for a character that I've never really followed. My understanding of Maestro was just simply a character that was is a future alternate timeline version of a person that we already know, which is the Hulk. But as I'm reading this story in particular, I want to know more. I want to know what happens next to the Hulk, and how does he actually become Maestro, right? And how does he don the name Maestro, and for what, right? So in terms of my rating for this book, I'm probably gonna give it a 7 out of 10. No, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, and by all means, it's not a bad score until it gets to a 5, right? 6 out of 10 means that I read it. It was interesting, right? I do want to know more. And in terms of my hype to read the next one, I'm gonna give that a 3, right? It falls in lines with the 6 and the 3. It's not a, it's mind you, it is not a bad book. I just want to know more. It was very interesting to see that layer of consciousness that he was dreaming, not dreaming, but he experienced, right? And another good quality was just seeing old man MODOK. I love MODOK. He's just a weird character to me. Um, and I enjoy his character, right? His intellectual prowesses, right? So in terms of me reading the next one, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. If I see it in my store, I'm gonna go pick it up, right? My LCS. Shout out to Collector Cave, amazing, amazing comic book store and people in there. But if I see my main pickups, I'm gonna go for them, right? But I did enjoy the Maestro story, and I'm getting to know the character a little bit more. So now I'm going to open up the chat for probably about 5 minutes before I end the stream. We started the stream a little bit funky, uh, but it's all right now. So let's put on. I think the only person in here was our friend Evan. And some other people might be watching. So if you have a question or just a comment about, what you thought about Maestro, and if you read Maestro, just let me know in the comment section. Let me just play that outro while some folks are thinking about a question. What's going on, Slim Comics and more? So I'm going to play that midtro, outro, something tro right now.
You will never amount to anything. We shall see, brother.
little bit of an alternate version of the intro with the Mario. Yeah, so that was Maestro. That was kind of my reaction. I give it a 6 out of 10, and my hype to read the next one is a 3 out of 5. Right? Nothing too crazy. It was a great, it was a good introduction. Again, 6 out of 10 does not mean that it's a bad score in the Zen scale. It just means that it was enough for me to say, "Oh, that's interesting." Right? It's interesting what's happening in this book, but not enough for me to say I can't wait till the next book, right? But it was good. Again, it was great seeing Old Man Modoc, and I'm eager to find out what would happen next, whether that's me getting the book or me just watching another video. But they did do well as an introduction to the origins of this character, right? Which is Maestro. So, Uh, just gonna leave the chat open a little bit. If you have any questions about Maestro, or did you read Maestro? And if you read Maestro, what are your thoughts about Maestro and his character in terms of his links to other storylines? Um, like the bigger stories, like I'm thinking like Null coming and the Avengers kind of Empire stuff. Like there's no connection there. Well, there might not be, right? To Thor and all of them. I don't see any connections being there. It just seems to be a standalone story about Maestro and his origins. I'm eager to know if there is any kind of links to it, though. Um, it's funny. I'm starting to see Modoc pop up like more and more and more. I always liked the character Modoc and always felt bad for him as well. Because I believe in his original story, he was kind of forced uh, to turn into Modoc, right? It wasn't like by will, or if it was by will, um, they didn't foresee that specific outcome of him becoming um, this murderous type of, uh, you know, artificial intelligence based combination with a human being, right? So yeah, so that's Maestro. I'm not gonna keep ranting a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is go over to the schedule for the week so that everyone knows what's happening for the weekly schedule. And we have a couple things coming up. I did post some videos. This one I was not gonna stream today, so I was a little bit unprepared. But I said, you know what? I forgot to do the Maestro review before the deceased one. The deceased one is probably going to be a pre-recorded video. And the reason why it's going to be pre-recorded is because I'm noticing more and more as I'm making these videos, I'm looking at the streams and they're starting to slow down. And there's a reason why they're slowing down. Uh, there's a big reason why they're slowing down, and I'll explain why in a little bit. And so tomorrow's video we have our comic book day, which I'm going to stream tomorrow. But I'm going to use Streamyard. Streamyard I'm going to use because I know that it won't have like the slowdown and things. What's going on, Steven? I need some more for the fall too, so I'm going to do that stream tomorrow through Streamyard for new comic book day. And the following day, Thursday, we have Future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Theories, which is an open talk, which I'm going to use StreamYard. So those of you who just want to come into the StreamYard, I'll drop the link in the chat, and then you guys could just jump in, right, and just chat. As long as I know you, then that's it. Then you could jump in, right? So that's like Steven, that's like Slim Comics and more, and like some other folks. If you're like a kid, then sorry. Nothing against you, but yeah. No. But you could watch us talk about stuff of that nature. And Saturday, we have Marvel's Avengers, the second gameplay. I'm loving Kamala Khan, so that's why it's titled I Love Kamala Khan. I'm loving her character. And now, a big reason why you guys are probably seeing a lot of slowdowns is because I literally downloaded all 50 episodes of my Super Mario Maker, um, and I'm combining them into one video, which is more than 72 hours worth of footage. I did that already. I already downloaded the video. I already combined all the videos. I'm waiting for a USB that contains a whole terabyte to then process the video to put it in that terabyte so that I could stream it on Sunday. It's literally a 50 episode marathon of Super Mario Maker. Shout out to my Super Mario Maker people. So I literally took the time to download all of those videos yesterday. It took a lot of time. So my computer is about pretty maxed out, burnt out, but it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna stream it. I won't be there, but I'm gonna stream it. So I'll probably wake up and see a whole bunch of brand new members, right? Uh, Slim Comics said it's a good idea. It was a good idea. I like your Perez cover. Yeah, I like this cover too. What's going on, Sleeper Reader? Uh, it would be interesting how Maestro can be put into a storyline with the Immortal Hulk. That's interesting. I never thought about that. I would like to see that happen. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I wonder what he would be to him, like a mentor, or I don't know. Sleeper, it looks like I miss things on Maestro. We'll catch the rewind. Oh, that sounds good. There was a when you catch the rewind, there's gonna be a lot of lag in terms of the video. I'm noticing, but um, my vocals were there. But I'm gonna use StreamYard next time. Just I don't think my computer can handle XSplit and all these different things and seeing all my awesome frames moving back and forth, right? So, but Maestro, it's a again 6 out of 10 for me. 3 out of 5 in terms of my hype to get the next one. Not a bad book at all, just not one that's on my like hierarchy, right? It's not like Deceased. So I'm gonna do a Deceased rundown review. It's gonna be a bonus. It may be a bonus tomorrow. Bonus meaning that I'm gonna pre-record that one in a similar format. Probably put a couple of edits. Um, and yeah, and release that. But tomorrow, everyone, tomorrow is brand new comic book day, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be an open stream. Okay, so folks, Wednesday and Thursdays will be an open stream, so you guys could jump in, especially Thursday. Thursday is going to be a theories video, future of the MCU, and I definitely, if folks want to, because I could talk, you know, by myself and you guys to the chat. But if anyone want to jumps in and they're just like, I just want to explain this, you could jump in as long as I know you through like IG or um and your age is verified, you could jump in, right? The only thing that I say is that there's no curses on my stream because I do have a younger audience as well as an older audience, and because it's really not necessary anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna hop out of here, team. Drop a like if you haven't already, and check out some of my younger video, my older videos, not my younger, my older videos. Check out my review, my unboxing for the Jason, Michael Myers rather, for the Michael Myers. I plan on doing another one. I was just trying something out with like chopping up the edits to make it digestible, but I did have someone did give me a suggestion to still do that, but to also review the figure itself. So anyway, I'm gonna hop out of here, team. This is Zen from Zen World, saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying my content, drop me a like, uh, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Yes, Sleepy Reader, good policy on cursing. Yeah, just no cursing. For what? I mean, we could just talk. This whole video, I didn't curse. All of my videos, I haven't cursed, and I'm all right. I'm alive. But that's not to go against anyone that does curse. Just saying, because yeah, it's not going against anything. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna hop out of here. I'm gonna hop out of here. Later, team. Peace.